following intensifying calls for Dianne Feinstein to retire because of how poorly she handled Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation hearing. She has actually decided that she'll take a half measure. She's acknowledged that she failed as the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. So she is going to essentially step down as chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And she released this statement explaining why. After serving as the lead Democrat on the Judiciary Committee for 4 years, I will not seek the chairmanship or ranking member position in the next Congress. California is a huge state confronting two existential threats: wildfire and drought. Two threats that I've done absolutely nothing about and plan to continue doing absolutely nothing about. I added that part, but I'll continue reading what her quote actually said. Wildfire and drought, and that are only getting worse with climate change. In fact, in the next Congress, I plan to increase my attention on those two crucial issues.
No, you don't. That's a lie.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
So Green New Deal activists went to her office. She yelled at them, and she said it wasn't realistic. She plans to do absolutely nothing. That's barely a fig leaf face-saving maneuver, as even other conservative and moderate Democrats were so embarrassed at her performance that they forced her out. They're like, Dianne, you gotta go, man. You gotta stop hugging Republicans and telling them how wonderful it is that they steal Supreme Court seats. So she was part, along with, to be fair, the entire Democratic Party that completely failed on getting Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court for a year under Obama. Then she turned around. If you don't remember, she did not want to release Christine Blasey Ford's story about Kavanaugh. She's the one that kept it hidden until Ryan Grimm uncovered it for The Intercept, and by the way, also Young Turks contributor. And one of the first stories he did was on the Young Turks on that. So basically, progressives had to out her to fight against Kavanaugh. Otherwise, she was going to protect Kavanaugh from Ford, because Ford made the mistake of reporting it to her because she's her senator. So she couldn't do that cover up appropriately. And then when they come in for the steal on Barrett, she said Lindsey Graham ran the best hearings I've ever seen. So guys, she's 87 years old. And so I don't know, and that's what happened at the end of the hearings. After she said it was the best hearings ever, then she hugged it out with Lindsey Graham with no face mask, the whole thing. She's a disaster. But you think that the rest of the Democrats are getting rid of her because they don't agree with her? No, they agree to all of her surrenders. No, they're just saying, we gotta put a better face on it. So who are they going with? Dick Durbin. Okay. So Dick Durbin wants a seat, he'll almost certainly get it. He's the #2 Democrat in the Senate. Dick Durbin has fought Republicans never, ever, ever in the Senate. He will never fight them as the head of the Judiciary Committee. He will do the same exact things as Dianne Feinstein. He just won't bungle it as much because he's not as advanced as she is in her decline. And so he'll just more politely surrender to Republicans. So the actual change you're gonna get on both the Judiciary Committee and in fighting the fires and the droughts is absolutely zero. Put a progressive on. It doesn't have to be Bernie Sanders. You could move the people around in the committees. They don't have to be on the Judiciary Committee now. You put Warren as the head of it, Sanders is the head of it, Ron Wyden. So there's a number of Ed Markey. So there's other ways to go. Are they gonna go that way? No, Durbin, oh my friends, my colleagues, my beloved cherished Republican colleagues who I love so much. You win again, I guess there's nothing I could do. That's what you're gonna get for the next 4 years. So when Feinstein was running for Senate re-election in 2018, so she was 85 at the time, every media outlet was like, what a brilliant, brilliant, progressive, liberal fighter for Democrats. You should all vote for Feinstein. Feinstein's amazing. How dare anyone challenge Feinstein? Feinstein's the best. Now they're like, Feinstein's slightly problematic. Let's go with new Feinstein. It's the media that's screwing us all. They're the ones that prop up these totally ineffectual losers who've done nothing but lose to Republicans their whole lives. Why do we have the most conservative Democrat in the country as a senator from California, one of the most progressive states? That's because the media never told you she was conservative. They never told you any of those things. Here in California, the media is 1 billion% in the pocket of corporate Democrats, completely and utterly. So they help prop up her propaganda and her marketing. So don't come tell me now like, oh, and as she's leaving, they celebrate her. What a bold and courageous move to step aside so she could fight the fires and the droughts. Did you include in any of the articles she actually hates the Green New Deal and plans to do nothing about those issues? No, the beloved Feinstein. Go ahead, LA Times and San Francisco Chronicle and every local news outlet in California and NPR and all of you. Go keep kissing her ass as she hands one Supreme Court seat after another to the Republicans and the only people who she cares about, the people inside the club. The articles today were also filled with inaccuracies, lies, and wrong context. They said she fought the CIA and the spying program. No, she didn't. She let the CIA spy on all Americans. The only time she stood up is when she found out the CIA was spying on Senate Democrats. Then she was like, oh, that goes to my privilege and power. Then she was all outraged. She fought back 2% on that. And then she let him keep spying on all other Americans. She's exactly what's wrong with the establishment. But you'll never hear that in the mainstream media because they're just as corrupt as her. And they aid and abet this kind of corruption, weak Democrats. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.